Right. Now let's create a students and lecturers class. All right. So we just keep moving, in these tabs, so you'll be able to see active ontology, right? And we will look at entities, and we will also add on the data properties, and we specify the data types and so on. And now let's pick up the a class. All right. So please check your version, see whether you're in line with what I'm doing here, right? So now let's pick up once again a class hierarchy. So I'm going to create two classes. In fact, uh, you know, okay, you can just click here, add subclasses. All right. Everything will be under the main thing here, right? So let's create person is one class, and under person I can create lectures. Okay, once again go back to person and then create students, right? Students class, and now I would like to create one more class, which is module, right? Module. Right. Okay, so under module I would want to create a CS module subclass, and once again click the module, create one more which is a mat module, right? Mat module. Okay, so now you have created classes. Okay, and normally what we do, we want to make sure that to avoid some clashes between the classes, so we will indicate the what do you call a disjoint. We want to make sure that the classes are not conflicts, uh, having a mixed kind of data. So for that, you would need to look at all right, so you just need to go back once again. Okay, so now you have modules, right? Okay, module, you got two modules, MAD and CS, and of course students and lecturers. So the MAD module shouldn't have conflict with CS module and the person. Same goes to CS module, shouldn't have conflict with the MAD and the person here. All right. So for that, you will need to actually indicate disjoints. All right. So disjoints, you will need to okay, just pick up classes once again. Yep. So pick up the class once again. All right. So pick up the module here, mat. Okay, mat. Disjoint. Okay, with okay, once again, this is just totally to avoid conflict. Okay, so mat shouldn't have conflict with CS module, and shouldn't have conflict with lecturers and students. Okay, so that's, you can set that disjoint. Same goes to CS module. See, automatically, so they are like that. So CS will not have conflict with these three. Okay, so now with that, the creation of a class is actually over. But once again, this is just added to avoid overlapping, right? Now better save. All right, save as. So I'm going to keep the default syntax, okay, RDF format, XML. And so now I'm going to create university .ol, yeah, OWL, right. So that's the first part. So the second part, you pick up properties. Okay, so properties, we will need to create object properties. All right, so object properties. Now here we need to describe relationships. Okay, so now pick up the top object, and you just have to create, okay, teachers, lecturers, teachers. Okay, so creating a relationship. And the other one is students, students studies. All right, studies. Okay, student studies. Okay, so this is one. And of course, teachers pick up, and you need to specify the domain for for okay, this particular object. You need to have a domain which is lecturers, right? Teachers, yeah. And the range you can choose like subjects. Actually, the range can be just modules, right? Lecturers can teach any of the modules, right? Okay, so that's the relation. If studies, the domain studies is yeah, the domain is students. All right, the ranges can be here. What do you call? Yeah, module. Okay. All right. So that's what you got to set. The properties. We call this as object properties. And now we go to pick up data properties. All right. So the third one. In data properties, we actually specify like individual fields. Okay, for example, let's create let's say a first name. All right, first name, and then last name. All right, and then I probably would like to have a staff ID, and the last one, for example, student student ID. All right. So now the first name here, first name, we got to pick up the domains. All right, pick up the domain. So the first name can be relevant to any person. Okay, so just pick up person because both lecturers and students will have the first and the last name. All right, and the ranges here, perhaps you might want to choose the string here. Please pick up the string. Okay, the string is yeah, it's here. All right, great. Pick up that. So same goes to last name. Last name domain can be person. Okay, and the ranges, right, so can be string as well. Staff ID, the domain will have to be lecturers. All right, and the range, perhaps this time I want to choose integer. Please look for integer. Yeah, there you go. All right, that's for staff ID. For student ID, also the domain is students, right? And the range, okay, so it's integer. Okay, great. Okay, so those are the data properties, right? And then yeah, so once you have set up the data properties, which they are domains and the ranges, so we can move on to specify the individuals, the actual record, so to speak. So here, before we go into actual records, right? So now, for example, I might want to, okay, the actual module, right? So CS 101, and then CS 102, right? And then Math 101, Math 102, lecturer lecturer 1, okay, lecturer 2, okay, and then student 1, student 2, right? Okay, so now All right, so pick up CS. Okay, CS is a type of computer science module, right? So you got to just make sure you link it correctly. All right, same goes to the CS. It's the CS module, right? Math. So I'm going to pick up the math module, and here the math also the math module, right? Okay, so that's done. So for lecturer 1, so pick up type, obviously map to lecturers. All right, and but now you got to set the object property assertions here. So the right, so what the lecturer 1 does. Okay, so lecturer 1 teaches, all right, teaches. Okay, for example, CS 101. All right, so that's the first one, and I can add one more here. Lecturer 1 teaches, all right, CS 102, right? All right, so for lecturer 2, I can do that. So type, you make sure you add lecturers, right? And the object property assertions, lecturer, okay, teaches, let's say take this as a maths. See, when you type something wrong, automatically it detects, and then okay, so make sure it's correctly spelled. Teaches math 101. All right, and one more, teaches math 102. All right, so now all right, so now let's pick up the lecturer 2 once again. Add your data property assertions. Data property here, you actually pick up, okay, first name. You got to key in all the records here. So first name, for example, James. All right, so the type is um, type is obviously string, right? Yeah, string. Okay, that's James first name. Okay, so data property assertions again, last name James Tan, James Tan. Okay, by default string, and I'm going to add staff, right? Staff ID here is actually integer, so if you don't change, you will have bug. All right, so make sure you pick up the right data type, which is integer, and I'm going to 1001, let's say, for example. Okay, so that's a staff ID. All right, so you can actually duplicate these for students. For example, student 1, student. Okay, student is obviously student's type. Okay, so the object property, they actually studies, right? So that's what studies CS 101. Okay, CS 101, CS 101, yep, CS 101. All right, so now pick up one more, studies math 101. All right, okay, so then you include data properties. So again, once again, pick up integer is actually student ID, right? Okay, so anyway, so here is 10005, for example. Okay, integer is fine, and add pick up the first name. All right, but the first name has to be string, right? Has to be string. All right, let me just okay, there you go. Right, and one more last name. Oops, okay, first name. What did I do just now? I didn't enter the name, so you should have entered the name just now. But anyway, okay, just go back. First name, you can delete it. All right, so just add one more time, but I will come back in another video. All right, how to add the data properties All right, thank you for time being. Bye.